this crowd, folks. It's deafening. The Hawkeye faithful smell blood.
Our stadium, our city, our state. Across Interstate 80 and up and down I-35.
From the Missouri River to the Mississippi River.
Capital to Old Capitol. This is Hawkeye Country.
It's that time. Time for the Nebraska Hawks Nest podcast. Your Hawkeye oasis in a Nebraska desert. Swarm the 402 with Adam, the Miller Lite Delight, and one of the greatest kickers in Hawkeye football history, Kyle Slicker. Now go Hawks!
Hey boys!
Wow, we got a little bit of an underwhelming amount of people that are joining us. Oh, we dropped to one. This is. I told Matt, I go, this is the same type of thing that happens, just like when we do T-shirts. Everyone wants one, and then when we get them, everyone just disappeared. So it's just like our audience. And I've ran into probably 20-something different people in Omaha. They're like, bring back the podcast, bring back the podcast. And we start hyping it and bringing it back, and it's been pretty crickets. So they're going to make us earn it and start back from the beginning, which is totally fine. I get it.
Can't blame them.
But guys, we just want to take time to say welcome back to the Nebraska Hawks Nest, your Hawkeye oasis located in a Nebraska desert. I just got goosebumps saying that's been so long. We're excited to be back. Our 2-year bye week is officially over. Long sabbatical, but I am joined by one of, if not the greatest kicker in Iowa Hawkeye football history, and the #1 real estate mogul in the state of Illinois. It is just complete dominance. It is Mr. Kyle Slicker. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. Great to be back. This is a lot of fun. Very excited about it, and thank you for that intro. That's it couldn't be any. You are 100% true about everything you just said about me.
Nice. See, I know I was. That's why I said that. And that's a beautiful ball cap you have on right now too. Go Sox.
Thanks. I couldn't decide which one to wear. I love this one, man. It's great.
That's a good looking one. You can never go wrong with that. I have about 50 White Sox hats, and I think that's one of the few I don't have. So, I gotta tell everybody that we got him back too. It's the Miller Lite Delight, Matt. Welcome back, my brother. It's good to see you, buddy. Glad to have the band back together, and we haven't done this for quite some time. And Matt and I have been kind of kicking this around for a while and having a few cocktails, and then we'll start sending Schlicker texts. What do you think about doing this again? And Schlicker's like, yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. And then we kind of like don't do it for a while and been kicking the can down the road. So why don't you guys start? We'll start with Kyle. Kyle, like, what have you been up to for the last 2 years? Anything new with you, man?
Man, other than me, and my business doing well and just grinding. We're in a really cool phase right now with our kids. My son Griff, he just turned 10. He's a leap day baby. His soccer is just skyrocketing. I grew up playing soccer, a lot of ODP and Iowa United, traveling around the U.S. And when I started kicking footballs, I kind of had to give that up. And so it's really fun. He's just as obsessed as I am and looks just like me too. So it's really cool watching him. We're going to Louisville this next weekend for a big soccer tournament. And it's highly competitive stuff. This is not Parks and Rec anymore. This is cutthroat stuff where the coach tells you if you suck or not. So it's good, man. It's what he wants. It's what he needs. It's great. My daughter, she's a figure skater, just absolutely killing it. It's just a lot of fun watching the kids at this particular stage, and it's just going to get better. So that's what I've been doing.
It's been nice for Matt and I to watch from the sidelines. Your beautiful wife just hold that family together and drag you through the mud like she's been doing for years.
I tell everybody, and she doesn't like it when I say it, but if it wasn't for her, I'd be dead or in jail.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while. So
yeah, or I'd be definitely single. I'd be 400 pounds, highly ranked in some video game. Sponsored by Mountain Dew or something.
That's ironic that you said that you'd be 400 pounds because we actually touched base with our research team, and we wanted to see that if we just stopped doing this for a while and just gave up on it, what we would look like.
Well, hang on to your shorts, Slicker.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think I sent this one to myself. So while I'm getting with the research team, Matt, tell us what you've been up to for the last couple of years and what's new with you.
Just been watching a lot of Hawkeye sports, and my kids are still in Parks and Rec stuff, so it hasn't gotten as serious as Kyle's kids, but I'm still doing a little of that. Otherwise, yeah, work and Hawkeye sports. That's about it.
You got more than that, though. Come on, like what else you got going on? There's got to be some. You got
drinking the old Miller Lights.
Drinking more Miller
You're
Lights.
really good at that.
What are you guys drinking tonight? We always usually go over that. Like, what are we having? What's the cocktail of choice tonight? Because we always have one when we talk. So like, Kyle's always got something interesting.
This is just Pacifico, cerveza. Nice, refreshing. I'm acting like it's summer out right now.
I love it.
It was nice today.
It was very nice today.
All right. Well, I am. I'm always hanging with my friend Tito as usual. So enjoying that. But Kyle, this is. We wanted to see what it would look like if we continue down this path, and if Holly wasn't involved in your life. And there we go.
Yes,
there we go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I would look like if I didn't have my wife. That's so funny because that literally, like, in my head is what I've envisioned. You're just missing like an Xbox controller and some Mountain Dew posters because that's who sponsors me.
So for anyone that's listening on just the podcast when this airs, first of all, Matt looks like he doesn't even look like Matt, and he's got a Yankees hat on, and the girth of Kyle's belly is just
impressive.
And he's got his hand on it. Like that's his
trophy, baby.
I'm so proud. Yeah.
Oh man,
I feel bad for that couch. I mean, that's at least 1,600 pounds right there.
Oh man, so bad. Awesome. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh my god, yeah, that having way too much fun with that. So I was creating some of these, and I sadly I'm gonna pull back the curtain and bring you into my life here for a little bit. And I made a few of them, and I was laughing so hard when we went to bed. I was like convulsing, and my wife kicked me out of the bedroom. She goes, "You need to get out of here. Like I need to sleep." And I was just crying. I was laughing so hard. So I called Matt and I sent him a few more. And, I told Matt, I said, this Marlboro one is the Marlboro Men is that's one of my favorites. So for those of you guys that are listening on the podcast, again, just hop on our Nebraska Hawks Nest Facebook page or check out the YouTube. But we have a Marlboro themed picture here that we did to kind of promote coming back, and then the big boys after a big buffet. And I mean, can you imagine the cockroaches in that place? How nasty that would be.
Later.
Oh my gosh. Kyle's is the best. how that turned out. So
I think my favorite is the police officer one. I like the police officer
one.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, I like your shorts, Adam. Those are great.
Those are nice shorts.
Like, if I was a cop, I would rock those shorts all the time.
Oh yeah, Husker fans were coming for you. No, that Matt's carrying a box of donuts, and that was what got me kicked out of the bedroom, because I started laughing so hard when I looked at him with the cigarettes in his mouth, holding a box of donuts. And our one of our friends and co-contributors of the show, kind of one of the background guys of the Nebraska Hawks Nest, Lucas, made videos out of some of these. I was just like, how did you?
The video was awesome.
Yeah, the video was really.
It has
really
us
cool.
arresting a Husker fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the video thing to play that on here. But if you guys go to our Facebook page, you can absolutely see it. And hopefully on the audio side, we're doing a decent enough describing this. But we never said we weren't going to be rusty. And then we busted out a little bit of a Step Brothers theme, the podcast brother.
That was good.
That was a good one. This was one of Schlicker's favorites right here, the Podcast Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast Rangers.
Look at that hair, dude. The hair does it for me.
Dude. I mean, Kyle looks awesome in all these. Like his just turned out like turned out the best. And then
all
in Power Rangers. So you're the Red Ranger, Kyle. And then is that Matt in the middle? Yeah, Matt's the Blue Ranger. Doesn't even fully look like Matt. And then
are you sure?
I don't know who's who.
I don't know.
I think that's Matt. It struggled with me and Matt on a lot of these. Like, and then I'm I don't know what kind of Black Ranger. That's pretty sick though. I like the costume. But like, look at this.
I thought that looked more like me. Oh God,
that looks real.
The 1980s
really
one.
Real.
It did a good job. Like it nailed Kyle and Matt. You can tell it's me, but it's not like exactly the 1980s theme on this one. So I thought that one was pretty dang funny too. This one, the Jurassic Park themed one's pretty good too. Oh man. So yeah, some of these turned out good. And then this other 1980s one, that doesn't really look like any of us.
Nah.
And I'm holding up a soft pretzel.
Orange Julius and Slicker singing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't look anything.
Look at the background. We got Sam Goody back there. We got
an arcade.
That's some good stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't look anything like that.
I'm very nostalgic.
No.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, like Kyle and I, you can tell that's supposed to be us. That yours, Matt, doesn't even look like you.
No.
And then this one's good.
That one actually looks like a picture of me.
Yeah,
like we're sending that one out for our Christmas.
I was gonna say that one. The Christmas one looks real. That was the best, probably, as far as picture.
So what we got to do before we get too deep into, I'm going to kind of cover where I've been and take the full brunt of the blame as I deserve for why we took had the 2-year bye week. We had a return of, if you look in the corner of the screen, you're going to see a change there. It's somebody that's meant a lot to this show, and she was the first one to step up. And I gave Matt a job over the last month to help us find a sponsor this time around. Well, Kyle, I'm going to give you a guess how many sponsors Matt brought to the table. I'm going to let you guess how many.
Oh man, I mean, I'm going to guess 12.
If you did 12 minus 12, you'd be right. That's 0. 0. So luckily, again, this candle empire that she's building from a trailer park, and I've started to find out I think it's outside Waterloo, Iowa.
Yeah.
She's back again for another run with us and keeping us afloat. So I just want to let everyone know too. I guess apparently with podcasts now, since we've taken a break, people can join memberships of the podcast and get ad-free versions. So I put the link of that on the Facebook page pinned at the top. It's like $2 a month. So I picked the lowest price possible that I could. So hopefully we make $2 a month worth it. And what we'll do, we'll pledge to you guys, everybody that does that, we'll give you that much of a discount whenever we do anything. If we do a shirt or anything like that, we'll take that $2 off just to give that back to you, because we're friends with the real estate mogul. We don't need the money. We just borrow from Kyle. It's what we do.
100%, baby.
No, so just to kind of touch base to what I've been doing. I had to pull back a little bit. I know a lot of you don't know. Matt knows pretty well, and Kyle knows a little bit too. And I had kind of it was a double-edged sword, a really good run professionally there for a while, where I was promoted multiple times in media for radio, director of sales, and then vice president of sales. And then it really kind of consumed my life, and I had no energy really to do anything else. It was after work, I was dead. Weekends, I was dead. I didn't have any energy. And so I had to put everything into the job. And, it was a little bit of a wake-up call. I get called into the office where the media company that I was recently at, and let me know that my position was being eliminated. So I'm currently on the job hunt and on the job market, but I gave Matt a commitment, and which I'm going to do to you, Kyle, too, that, this is something we need to keep doing. It's too much fun, and we have a blast doing it. We need an outlet like this, something fun for us to do. And like you said it perfectly, Kyle, you're like, no matter what, we don't have to put a ton of the work into what we're doing. It just makes it, it makes it worthwhile. So, and I got to say what's up to Lucas, doing a lot of work for us and helping us out on the side. What's up, Lucas?
Magician,
it'll be good to
Lucas Lee.
Hopefully see him some point at a football game in the next year or two, but he's a huge contributor to what we do. But just happy to be back. And, when you focus your whole life 100% on your career, and you don't have anything left for the other people in your life, that's a little bit of a wake-up call. So I got to recalibrate the focus and have a little bit more of a healthy balance and not be so just work and enjoy things like this, because this was like an absolute joy to do. And the cool part about this for us was all the really cool people that we got to meet. Like we've got to meet so many cool people that listen to the podcast, and so that's been awesome. Whenever we go to a game or we're anywhere and we have a hat on, or we see someone else with a Nebraska Hawks Nest hat, we always talk about, that's our favorite thing, that they tell their story of like, oh my God, when the Miller Lite says this, or when Schlicker said this, like I laughed so hard. And, so it's just a lot of good memories, and that's what we're about. We're the, I would say that the most fan oriented podcast, because, we're fans. This is for the fans, by the fans. And we got a former player with us though. So that legitimizes us just a little bit, I think maybe, but we're back, and so very, very, very happy to be here. So good to hear from you, Lucas, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So first we're gonna kind of hit some topics here and talk about some different things that are going on. But I don't know, we probably didn't get enough love to Candy.
Oh yeah.
We need to thank her. And she actually sent in this new I gotta look to see the name of this candle. This was a new one. I had never heard of this before. It's called Midnight Armpit. Like apparently when you put deodorant on in the morning and then you wait till the end of the day, she's encapsulated that scent. So I don't know how she does this, but that is the scent of the month from Candles by Candy, Midnight Armpit. You can message us on our Facebook page and we can get you guys if you want that smell in your house. Apparently people do. Gwyneth Paltrow, we talked about this on one of our old podcasts, had a candle that smelled like vagina. Apparently she legit did. Like that's a real thing. Really? And it sold out in minutes. Do you remember that, Kyle?
Yeah, I do. Oh yeah. Very curious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's the candle making business is wild. So yeah. So thank you to Candy for being a longtime sponsor and keeping the show afloat. And guys, if you ever want know a business or know of anyone that owns a business that wants to sponsor the podcast, we're always looking to something to help us out with the podcast fees, because this isn't free. So we would love to spotlight your business or anyone else that is part of the show. And we got one other one too, but they never pay their bill. So it's some electrical company that we'll be touching base with here at the end of the podcast.
Doesn't have anything to do with me either.
No, every time, they call and put in the order, but then they don't pay the bill. So very interesting. So we talked about that, got a little bit serious, but I don't know. Are you guys glad to be back? You happy to be back? Tell me what are your thoughts?
This is fun, man. Look, I'm, for me being a former player, I don't care what capacity. It's just fun to interact with, you two, but also interact with fans in any capacity. I mean, I know that I'm not the biggest, I don't have as much knowledge about all the sports that you guys do, but I just, think of me as I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just happy I'm the guy at the party that's like in the corner, nodding his head to the music, drinking a beer, just having a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy to be here.
We've got you fooled because we don't know that much, and Matt definitely doesn't. No, I'm kidding. No, we're just filling people full of crap. We don't really know much. So, but Matt, you glad to
be the program? Let's get into a little sports talk. Let's go.
All right, let's get into it. So guys, I just want to let everyone know too that the YouTube channel's back. I was able to get that back up, and that was a massive battle. And all of a sudden, before the show came on, I was trying to connect the YouTube to the show, and Google apparently decided to open the gates and let it come back. And I know a lot of people were like, bring back the old interviews. Like, we had 140 something previous shows that we had done. And I don't think everything's in there, but most of it is. So excited to have that back too. And Kyle, I want to give you props, man, dude. Your internet is smooth.
Oh, it's spotless.
Yep.
Not having a problem.
Yeah, I can't explain that at that. Those issues are gone now. I'm happy that there aren't any issues either, because I don't like being blamed for stuff like that. Well, I'm not, my argument to that is it's 2026. Get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
right. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I have like 47 smart devices in my house with everything. I mean, who needs a smart garage door opener? Like who needs a smart microwave? But we have it. Like I can tell Alexa to preheat the oven to 400 because I'm a lazy son of a bitch.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. But, it's like why?
Well,
I can get my pizza rolls quicker,
I've had my fair share too. And it's funny, the one guy that lives out in the middle of nowhere on a farm is the one that has had the least amount of problems out of all of us. So that's very ironic.
Yeah.
Fiber to the home, old farmhouse.
Oh, fiber to the home.
Nice.
All right. So guys, we're going to talk a little bit tonight. I don't know if you guys, we're going to talk about Iowa basketball here for a minute. Now, we watched them play today. I thought they put up a great effort. I mean, they took the number 9 team at their place to the brink and went into overtime. And I'm going to ask you, Matt, like just to start off, what would you give Ben McCollum? What grade would you give him in his first season as the Iowa men's basketball coach?
I mean, I don't know how you don't give him an A+. He brought a lot of his players from Drake over. So, some of them maybe not D1 players, but he made them into them. I think they're clicking even more at the end of the year here, bringing number 9 Nebraska into overtime tonight. So they look a little better. They look a little smoother. Well, let's see if they can keep it going. And I know they're projecting us a 9 seed going into the NCAA tournament, and I just hope that we give whoever we play problems coming in and make a little bit of a run. That would be a huge, huge feat for Ben McCollum in his first year. I give him an A+. I just hope he can continue that. I mean, Ben Sturtz is leaving this year. After this year, he's done, no eligibility, so he's got some big shoes to fill there. But I think he's got some key players coming back. It's gonna look good, I think, as long as he can keep that recruiting and improve the recruiting, I guess, and get some of those D1 players that we need to get at Iowa.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, like Lucas says here at the bottom, you're a big soccer guy. You got the World Cup coming up this year, which Matt and I have no clue what that even means. But I know it's some big soccer show that they have on the television. But have you had a chance at all to watch much Iowa men's basketball this season? I know that's not really your passion.
No, I'll be honest with you, I haven't. But I'm more of like a Google kind of guy. Like, oh, Iowa played. I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna read about what they did. It's you're right, man. Like I'm a soccer player at heart that could kick a ball a mile and ended up kicking footballs for the Hawkeyes. And I'm not gonna lie to anybody and tell them I'm a diehard Hawkeye fan, and I pay attention to everything. 20 plus years after I graduate. But it still is awesome to see black and gold doing well no matter what.
Heck yeah.
And even a lot of the bars around here, I still get invited I still run into fans, whatever it is. And I get invited to little watch parties, around here. And especially being in the business that I am now, I run into so many people that not only recognize my name still, which is great because, it lets me know I didn't suck. Well, I didn't suck enough, for them to like hate my name. Yeah. So either way, anytime I chime in and see that the Hawkeyes are doing well, it always puts a smile on my face. I actually have been paying attention to the Hawkeye women's soccer quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they have a good team.
That's been they're solid, man.
Yeah.
Like say what you want about the sport, but
last 2-3 years, Hawkeye women's soccer has been legit.
Yeah.
I don't watch it. I don't follow it, but I've just seen the things like you do on the Google.
Yep. That's okay. We all have our thing, but either way, it's black and gold, and they're doing well, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to pay attention to, and fun to talk about. So,
yeah, that's cool. You know what though? I think that right there, that sparked a segment. So we need to do something a little bit to shout out Iowa soccer a little bit. So
I think that'd be
maybe
cool,
we can
man.
meet on Kyle to do a little bit about that. Give us a little update every time we do a podcast on some Iowa soccer.
Roger that.
There you go.
All right. Perfect. So I'm gonna for Ben McCollum year one. I think there's been definitely more ups than downs for sure. Coming in, you can turn a program around. Supposedly that it's supposed to be like boom in a year. You're supposed to do it right away. I think has done a phenomenal job in his first year. I think they play great defense. I think we're way too reliant on Bennett Sturts. If you lock him down, the rest of that team can't really do much offensively. But they play hard and they play better defense than I ever saw a Fran McCaffrey team ever play. So I think that they could potentially go on a run to get past the second round, depending on the draw they get, because Iowa men's basketball, I feel like historically always gets the worst draws. And we always end up playing like a Duke or a North Carolina or Oregon when they were on fire, like right away. We always end up getting these tough games. So we're just going to have to hope that they get a decent draw. And I think that we got the right guy. I really do. I think he's the perfect hire. I'm going to give him right now just, essentially a B to B plus, which I think in your first year is great. And I think he's on the right path. I think he's a genuine dude. He grew up a Hawkeye fan. I think he grew up in Storm Lake, I believe.
Storm Lake, Iowa. Yep.
Yep. And I think his mom's still there. Everybody that meets him speaks super highly of him. So I don't know. I think the men's basketball program is going in the right direction. And I've been really impressed personally with our AD, Beth Getz. I think she's done a fantastic job drawing a line in the sand and not accepting mediocre performance out of the other sports. And men's basketball had fallen off so much to the point where nobody was going to the games anymore. The place was 3/4 empty. And you didn't want to watch a group. And again, no disrespect to the guys that were on the team, because there were some super talented guys and some great guys that are on one of those squads. And we had some exciting runs in that time. But those teams, when you travel, the only thing that's for sure to travel is your defense. You don't know how you're going to shoot. You don't know how the offense is going to go, but you know that you can come out and play great defense. And France teams just never defended well. And when they get into the postseason, if you don't defend, you're typically not going to make it very far. I think what did Fran win one NCAA game in like the 13 years
he was
coach?
there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good enough. That's
I will
not
say
good
to
enough.
your point on Ben Sturts doing too much, that was not the case tonight. I was pretty happy with who contributed,
True.
how many more players contributed other than him. They held him to a pretty minimal effect. Nebraska did give them credit for that, but Combs stepped up, Fulgaris stepped up. I mean, there's some guys in there that can really, do some damage.
So I definitely, there's the beer right there. Is that number 2 already?
Yep.
You just dominate
Look at
those
that.
things.
Look at that throwback.
Oh, yeah. Swarming the 402, baby. Yeah, those Miller Lights have to be just trembling in that box when they see you walk up, because they know you're just going to suck those babies down like it's your job.
Boots.
They go, look, it's the Miller Lite Delight. Oh, we're going to get drunk and it's going to be gone. So I give McCollum a BB plus. I think he's done a great job. I think he's the perfect hire. I'm drawing a blank, and I always do this when we're like live on a show. Who is the Indiana coach? The basketball coach right now.
Yeah, because we went after him first.
Yeah, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I could tell you any other time in 2 seconds.
I can see
he was
face.
the one that I was like, that's our guy. That's who we want.
Right.
And it doesn't look like Indiana's going to make the NCAA tournament, and they have
DeVries.
He's DeVries. Yeah, there you go.
DeVries. Yep, that's right. I don't know why I couldn't think of
cheated.
that.
I googled it real quick.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good.
We needed tech support for a second.
We're doing a Hawkeye podcast, and I couldn't remember his name. That's bad. But I thought he needed to be our guy. I was like, we need to get him. And he came and interviewed, and he was not impressed with what we could offer on the NIL side. So then he went to Indiana because you got people like Mark Cuban, and they just have deeper pockets there. But I think it ended up being the best move for us. So
Iowa.
Yeah, I think we got the right guy. So I'm excited about McCollum. I think he's going to do great, and I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be the Iowa head coach for the rest of his career. I mean, this is his dream job. He grew up being a Hawkeye, so I think that's pretty awesome. We're going to move on to our next topic, and in touch and base, we lost to Nebraska, but we lost valiantly today in men's basketball. So give those guys props. They fought hard, and they're going to have another lease on life.
It was at Nebraska. That's a tough place to play when they're packed house like that.
So we want feedback from the outside, from everyone that listens to the podcast. This being interactive is what makes it so good. We wish it was because of us, but it's not. It's because of everyone that listens, that interacts and posts things. Matt, I feel like out of the three of us, you can speak to this the best. And you guys, you're able to comment on the live feed, so absolutely do it. Lucas is the only one filling it up right now. What the heck is going on with the wrestling program? Because it has fallen off dramatically. I mean, we were king of the mountain forever, and then Penn State kind of kicked us off of that. We hung around that 2 spot for a while and really challenged them, and it's been a pretty quick fall over the last few years. And I don't know enough about wrestling. I know, Hawkeye State is a wrestling state, and we have a great history
right
in that program. But Matt, kind of from your perspective and what you've heard and what you've seen, what's going on with that wrestling program right now? Do you think we need to make a change?
There's not going to be one. It's already been announced that Brand's brothers are back for next year. I wasn't a wrestler growing up, so I don't know a ton about it, but I guess some of the things I've heard are, the other programs have caught up to Iowa. Iowa can't just go in there, be the biggest and dominate the way they did. I guess there's more technique and offense being taught in some of these other schools, which have pushed them over the edge, because your weight training and what you can build there, you only get so much out of. But when you start going into technique and offense, I think that's where the lack of production is. You see a lot of guys on Iowa on the wrestling team, and they just kind of wait for the other guy to do something first and sit back and wait. Where, in this new era of wrestling, it's got to be aggressive first, and it's just not happening. So the Brands brothers know what the challenge is, and I think they got high expectations for next year to at least go in the right direction. So there's going to be a lot on their plates next year, and hopefully we can. They got this year to finish out. They got the NCAAs coming up. We had some guys. I don't think we had any Big Ten champs. I think they were all. The closest was one runner up today, and the rest were all third on down. So there's a lot of ground he's got to make up.
My concern with that, and Kyle, I don't know how closely you follow wrestling at all, and I admittedly I follow it from afar, but I'm not as in deep with that as I am, basketball and football, and even Iowa baseball to that point. But I've never really seen a coach that, when you let a program fall as far as we have, be able to ever bring it back. There always has to typically be a regime change. But, from a head coaching standpoint, Kyle, what would you say, like, as far as, you don't even have to know a ton about the wrestling program, but just in athletics in general, when you have a nationally dominant program like Iowa was for so many years and decades, and then they've just fallen off big time over the last, especially 2 to 3 years. Do you feel like that's something that an existing coach, because again, like, you were the coach that was in the chair when everything fell apart. So, it typically, that's a big credibility loser for recruits' eyes, fans' eyes. But do you feel like that's something he can bring it back, or do you feel like that's something like, hey, we probably need a change?
Well, I'm a big fan of the Brands brothers. I saw something the other day about, and you're right, I don't follow it that much as I probably should. I've got some good buddies that wrestled there. I'm friends with Dan Gable's daughter and all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But, so therefore I probably should pay attention a little bit more of it. But, my thing on this is just maybe this is Iowa wrestling's, maybe they are becoming, they're entering that phase where they need to kind of reevaluate how they do things. And what I mean is, I only know this anecdotally. I don't know this to be, actual fact, but, wrestling programs, especially top level ones, pride themselves on being very bare bones. There's not a lot of strength conditioning protocols. It's really just like coming in, putting in hard work, and leaving, relying on talent and hard. I don't know what extra stuff is being done. And maybe, I'm just throwing this out there, maybe these other programs are starting to do something differently. They're starting to evolve. kind of like how the game of football has evolved since I played. Like, gosh, we've gone through this phase with special teams where now we're doing rugby style punts. I mean, Coach France never would have done that back when I played, man. Are you kidding me? If I would have knocked on his door and said, "Hey, I think we should try this," he would have told me respectfully, to F off and be like, "Dude, you're crazy." And now look at us, we're doing this. So again, I'm just spitballing here, but maybe this is, I think we should stick with the Brands brothers. I'm not a big fan of just cleaning house with the regime. Obviously, we don't know what's going on the inside. There could be some stuff going on the inside, but if there's not, let them continue to do the job. They're obviously professional and have won, have been very successful in the past, so they know what the hell they're doing. But I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe Iowa is becoming that program that's behind the curve on the next generation of training, the next generation of how they do things behind the scenes and how they get. Who knows, man? I'm just throwing that out there because I'm 42 now. And I'm not saying I'm old. I'm still young. I get it. But we are entering that phase of our lives where, like, things are changing. Sports are changing. Like, the way the game is played, there's all these new rules, and it's just not the same. We also, as fans, kind of need to, as much as we don't really like it, have to keep evolving too. And I kind of think that goes hand in hand with coaching and recruiting and training. So I don't know if that helps answer that. But
yeah, I think that was a level-headed approach. So I like it. That's hopefully they'll get it figured out. This is going to take this any more now with the way that this all of our collegiate sports are. You can turn a program around in a year, so
sure.
You can do it quick. But I don't know if you guys have seen lately. I think recently up at the White House within the last day or so, they had Nick Saban, Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer, and they had a whole committee meeting about college sports about what they were going to do to fix the transfer portal and what they were going to do to fix, like, put a salary cap, because all of these donors are getting, donor fatigue. They're like, we can't keep forking out cash to these kids that are here for a year and then leave. And I said this before too. It's like, Kyle, if I ask Kyle, like, hey, Kyle, where'd you play college ball at? Oh, University of Iowa, University of Illinois, Florida Tech University, Texas Southern, and then I finished at Utah State. It's like, where's the honor in that? And it's just to be able to get a little bit of a higher paycheck, and I love so much that they asked Jennings Dunker at the combine, well, what were those conversations like when you were offered more money by other schools to transfer? And he goes, I didn't listen and talk to anybody because I never wanted to leave. I wanted to play for this program. This is the program I chose. And I didn't entertain any conversations, so I didn't get any offers. I don't know why people do that. I don't want to do that. And so, I don't know what you guys have heard about that, but Matt or Kyle, have you guys heard much about that committee? And what are your thoughts on the current landscape of where we're at right now on that?
Matt, do you mind if I go?
No, go ahead.
I am 100% against this whole NIL thing. It's way out of hand. Stop buying players, stop paying players. I don't care how good you are. We need to get back to the bare bones of doing things. These are kids that, I just imagine myself having that much money, being sponsored by, a toilet seat company or something. I don't know, like what I would.
Yeah.
Hey. Guys, I would have been dead or in jail. I would not have met my wife. I am reckless. At that age, I would have been reckless. I would not.
Me too.
I would not have been as dedicated as I was to helping my team and my teammates be successful. And I think Jennings, that is phenomenal what he has done. That should be, that I hope that has resonated with a ton of younger players. It's creeping into high school too, man. This is getting out of hand. The transfer portal, I'm sorry, but I've been in the real world now for, X amount of years, and I'm just, it's a grind, man. And life kicks you in the balls in the face at the same time pretty quick if you don't have your shit squared away.
100%.
If you're someone that is just used to transferring and giving up and seeing if the grass is greener on the other side, you're not going to survive, man. You're going to move right back in with your mom and dad, which is okay if you do it temporarily. But, don't make that a habit, man.
No, absolutely. And that's really setting the precedent in life, Matt. Like, if you get a little bit of, hit a difficult stretch at work, a little bit of adversity, are you just going to pick up and leave? you know, because that's essentially what it's teaching people. And I, like Kyle said, when I was that age, geez, man, I can't even imagine what I would have done with all that money. I would have been out of control too. I wish I could say I'd have been, I could have handled it. I would have been perfect. I wouldn't have been. It would have not been a good deal. So what are your thoughts, Matt, on the whole deal? Because it's a train wreck. And
rain.
Yeah, you would. You'd have been kicked out of school quick.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't have made it. I'd have got that first check and
man, it'd have been over. You wouldn't have made it to the second season. You'd have been booted out. He would have been D1 and then D2, you know, down to NAIA. And then
have you guys ever heard of Johnny Manziel?
Oh, Manziel, yeah. I think I heard of that guy.
Yeah,
man, obviously there's some situations where if you're a third string, fourth string, running back, quarterback, whatever it is, where maybe the transfer portal is the best option for you after you've exhausted all options and you've given it your all, and there's something still that is holding you back. There's been some amazing success stories of, kids, transferring and then becoming absolute stars. And I understand that, but now I think we're using it as, it's just being abused, man. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, that's what, like Matt says here. Hey, Matt, Matt Patton, got another big friend of the show, that Caden Proctor's a prime example of this. And, this committee, they're not saying that you can't transfer. I think they're going to give them like a one-time transfer with no penalty. And then after that, they're looking at like, okay, you can go once. And then after, at that point you have to sit out for a season, which I like. I think that's,
well, those contracts got to mean something. So if you don't have consequences to these contracts, then what's the point? I mean, just a free for all of transfer, like Matt Patton says here, transferred twice in 3 months. Proctor did. Yeah. So, and it's every year. The portal, I mean, there's like thousands, like 8,000 kids in these portals. It's like, what bill of goods were they sold to get out of the program they're in? And now where are they going to go if they don't land in a spot? It almost can end up worse for a lot of players.
Yeah. Well, then, you have Caden Proctor saying, well, grown men are saying these horrible things to me about, me transferring and not going to Iowa and then not going to Iowa and then going back to Iowa and leaving Iowa. When you're dealing with millions and millions of dollars and you're making grown men decisions that affect other grown men, then you're going to be treated like a grown man. So as much as you want to think you're a kid, you're a 370-pound, 6'7" monster that, you're a kid, but the decisions that you're making are affecting so many other people that you're going to be treated like an adult, whether you like it or not. And that was one of those situations where I think that those being put in a situation like Caden Proctor was, that really shows it's a character shower for sure. And he got exposed. And that's why when he left again, the Iowa coaching staff was like, see you later.
It was closed.
Bye. And, we'd all heard stories too when he was in camp that he was just not that hard of a worker. And
how's he doing now? What year is he?
He went to the combine.
He's going to be in the draft. So he'll get drafted. He's projected to be a first-round draft pick, but he's like it's supposed to be like late first round. So
he is still a first rounder.
Yeah, I mean, the last projection I saw, he was toward the end of the first round. But
I don't know how good his combine was. I guess
I don't know either. And for a guy that's that physically gifted, like you would think that for him, he was the number one recruit in the country, and he was an offensive lineman. It's like, you probably should have been on track to be a top 5-10 pick in the NFL draft. And honestly, at the end of the day, you went to Alabama because you said you wanted to win a national championships. How many national championships did Caden Proctor win? 0, not even 1. So, how do you like them apples? Moving on. Kyle, did you have something you want to say? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I mean, I've got a lot to say, but we can move on. It's okay.
Do it, man. Let's hear it. Well, this is our reunion pod, man. Do it.
I envision, I don't know if you guys do this too, but I do this quite a bit where like I envision myself having a beer with somebody else, of a celebrity or a president or something like that. it's like I want to be in a room with Caden Proctor and be like, dude, what is going on? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? I have a feeling he's going to be a huge NFL flop. It's all going to come crumbling down. He's going to have all this money, and whatever, man. I'm not here to bash on someone's life. It's a waste. It really is, and I think he's a fragile-minded person that is stuck in this massive, giant body that can do wonderful things, but your mind has to be there too. And dude, the NFL, I didn't play in the NFL, but I got buddies that did, and what they tell me is it's a meat market, man. It's you have to have thick skin every single day. It's a tough world. There's not a lot of people who really love playing in the NFL.
You want to know who thrives in a tough world? One of our sponsors. A sponsor by the name of Electric. For hundreds of
the buzzing sound even cut you off.
Yeah.
Oh, does it cut me off when it does the electrical noise? All right. Well, Meyer. So that's good. See, we're rusty. So that was the first real mess up of the day. So that's good. Now I know that. So Meyer Electric has been shooting lightning bolts into businesses for thousands of years, and last time we checked, they have been providing shockingly good service since 1831. So Meyer Electric, thank you for powering our podcast and shooting lightning bolts into all those businesses across this great state of Iowa and across the Midwest. Thank you for sponsoring.
Nice.
I think you just clicking the buttons.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me the sound effect, and they were like, "Just play this," and so they better pay their bill this time, or I'm unplugging that place.
Turning off their power.
The last thing, Kyle, Matt and I were talking about this, and this is going to be something where I feel like every Iowa fan has got like a really strong opinion on it. If your opinion's not theirs, they're going to be like, "Shut up, you're wrong." Matt and I were talking about this, Kyle, and we were talking about the kind of the historic tradition of college football uniforms, and we're talking about Iowa's uniforms. We've had the same uniforms since I want to say like the early 80s, so it's been about 40 years that we've had the same uniforms. But typically, whenever programs have these uniforms and stick with them for 40, 50, 60, 70 years and have a tradition of excellence, just like our sponsor Meyer Electric, they typically have national championships, multiple Rose Bowls, and back in the day, BCS championships, whatever those were. And my thought that I want to bring to the debate table, because this is one of those things like a political debate where if I hear a Republican argue it, I'm like, okay, that's a great point. I believe that. And then you hear someone on the other side, I'm like, I see your point though too. This is very much one of those debates that, Kyle, do you feel like at any point that it's time for the Iowa football program to graduate from the Pittsburgh Steelers knockoff look? Does that cheapen the brand of the football program not having their own identity and building something completely unique of their own? Because, that was initially built because of, Hayden knew, he's like, we're going to be terrible, but I want to at least look like winners. And he was friends with the Rooney family, and, they did that. And that's one thing where it's like everything about those uniforms, I've heard some Nebraska fans say, and it's just like, you guys look like the Temu Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm like, damn, that's a good one. I don't know that I can really, what I can say to that. Do you feel like it's something that might be holding us back, that we haven't created our own true brand with football, that we're kind of riding the coattails of the Steelers? Or do you feel like, hey, this is what it needs to be, and it's tradition. We got it right. We need to just stick with this.
I have a feeling that when Coach Ferentz sadly leaves us, and where there's a new head coach comes in, I have, whether it's from, hire from within or, completely revamp, I have a feeling that's going to happen. We're all going to see a new generation of Iowa Hawkeye football. I think that can actually be a trap sometimes. You make the excuse of it's tradition, but it's tradition. It's like, well, I get it. I mean, I love the uniform. Come on, like it's to me. I think that those people,
Nostalgic.
yeah, I'm nostalgic, man. I mean, even when before, I mean, you got to remember, man, I didn't even know where Iowa City was on the map when I got offered a full ride scholarship. Like I wasn't a football player. I was a soccer player that could kick a ball a mile, like so. But like I loved when that jersey you got hanging behind you, Matt. I think that is awesome. Yeah, that one right there. Bring that back, change it up. But guys, we're old, we're getting older. So like, like what Iowa State did. Like they're confused right now because like they're always wearing black for some reason. They can't figure out is it white. I mean, if you just go back to when I played, they were like they had the actual bird, like whatever that damn thing was on their helmet. I could never figure it out. Like, what the hell is a cyclone doing in the middle of Iowa? And why is a bird your mascot? I just, your colors are cardinal and blue, and now they're like a deep yellow, it's like a deep blood stained red, and but most of the time they're black. But again, dude, they love it, and they've been doing phenomenal. And maybe that's what we need to. But I have a feeling that's going to happen when Coach Ferentz is gone. I have a feeling it's going to. We're all going to see a different Iowa football come in, complete style change. Everything. Brace for it. It's coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, and I get being a former player too. You don't want to see those uniforms change because that's what you came through, And right. Matt, our friend Matt Patton, friend of the show, says the Iowa uniforms rule. No need to change them. Bring back the gold jerseys, but keep what we have. And I think that's what a lot of Iowa fans would probably say.
Yeah, and Matt, I'm with you. Trust me. Keep it the same. I'm just saying I have a feeling that that's going to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and you don't feel like Kyle and Matt. You don't feel like us riding the coattails on another brand. We go out and we look like a lot of some other people say that Team Pittsburgh Steelers. Like create your own brand, create your own image, and it's not like those high school teams that if their school starts with a W, they rip off the Wisconsin W, or if it starts with a G, they have the Green Bay Packers G. It's so many of those schools just rip things off, and it's like. Matt, do you feel like it's at a point where we need the football program has evolved to the point for us to break that glass ceiling? Because again, what have those uniforms done for us? Usually tradition like that is like, hey, people want to go there because they love that tradition. And I just don't know that those uniforms have done any favors for the football program at all. And I'm not saying they have or haven't, but Matt, what do you think?
I would say, I do like the clean look. Whether that's Pittsburgh Steelers look or not. But I do love a good throwback or a combat uniform. Those need to be, 2 or 3 games at least. They need to be changing. I think that draws in your recruits a little bit easier too. Something new, something flashy. That's what some of these kids look for. Not all of them, but some. Obviously Dunker wasn't looking for it, but. I think you need that base, and there is a tradition there. It's a good tradition. We've had pretty good years here and there. We've been up and down. I get it. It's not like we've won a national championship or that many Big Ten championships even. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of guys in the NFL. People, as soon as you see an Iowa jersey, people still know it's Iowa and not the Steelers. So, the reason why I think our opponents like Nebraska say it's Timu Iowa is because they're jealous. They have a stick in on their helmet. Wait, what the hell is that?
Yeah, they have terrible uniforms too. I hate their uniforms. They're really bad. Yeah, theirs are just boring. And if you're gonna have boring uniforms, at least have it be clean and sharp, like Penn State. Like those uniforms look sharp. Nebraska's I just think are bad from top to bottom. So I'm like, if I had to lean one way or the other, I would like to see the football program redesign their uniforms. I was a big fan of the old Reebok ones that had Iowa across the chest that they wore with Hayden for a couple years towards his last few years. I felt like that was a clean, simple look. They could do a modern version of that. But I just don't think that, keeping the same uniforms for 40 years for tradition purposes is doing anything for us. We predominantly 90% of the time finish 7-5 and 8-4. And, if those uniforms are doing anything to help that, I'd say at least have the uniforms be something that honors the history of the program, B, something that the players are proud to go out wearing that, and C, something that honors the tradition and the history of the program. And there was lots of other really cool uniforms that have been worn before those. And I think they could, do something to really, in my opinion, build their own brand identity that is going to separate them from that Pittsburgh Steelers. In my opinion, I feel like it's time to graduate and move on to something, but also, maybe do like they do in baseball, where they have, every month or every once in a while that year where they'll have a throwback game, and we'll bring those Steelers inspired uniforms back once a year or once every other year and wear those just to, never forget about those. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm not super devout in that, but we got to talking about that. I thought it was kind of an interesting topic.
I have everything. I have all my jerseys upstairs in my closet. But what was a great uniform looking back on it was our 75th year throwback jersey from 04, I think it was, with the white pants, the black and gold stripe going down the side, black jerseys with like an old gold letter and nameplate on the back, and then gold helmets. I still have my gold helmet. It's at my dad's house in Carlisle, Iowa, and then he also has the pants, but I've got the jersey upstairs. That was a cool uniform, man. That was I dig that. That was cool.
That is.
You, Kyle,
you got out for the next podcast.
You gotta sell me one of those, man. I would get that professionally framed and hung up.
You know what? I'll track it down. I also have my Outback Bowl. I have my 2004 jersey that has the Outback Bowl patch on it.
Yeah.
When we won the Big Ten championship and beat LSU, and it has a rip on the shoulder on
that's awesome.
From the like in the yellow and white paint from one of my tackles that year.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't call it a tackle. It was more like a head-on collision, and I had a secret concussion for a week probably, but that's a cool jersey, man. Yeah, I'll bring those out next podcast, man. Those are cool.
Yeah, you should show those. Yeah, that would be really cool to see those. I'd love that. Guys, we're coming to the end of the comeback episode. We'll let everyone know when we're gonna be coming back, but this will be available on our YouTube channel and through Spotify, Apple, everything like that. So make sure to share it out, and appreciate you guys supporting the pod. Let us know how you guys think we did the first time. I don't think there was too many mess ups. I think we did okay, but it's good to be back with you guys.
Just like old times, man. Just like old times.
That's right. Can't always go smooth.
It's true. It's true. All right, boys. All right, we'll do it again. Talk to you soon. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Cheers.